My name is Matt Paymer, owner of Ohio Guide Outfitters. I travel the North American continent to help connect you with the best outfitters. My goal is to build relationships in North America so more whitetail hunters can experience the ultimate in Ohio whitetail hunting. See where we rank this outfitter and make the complicating idea of picking your next hunting experience a little bit easier.
Hello everyone, I'm Kyle with Ohio Guide Outfitters. This video is put together of one of our recent bear hunts to Alpine, Arizona with Van Hale and Trophy Outfitters. This was my first time driving out west. There was so many places along the way, not only to great food, but also places to get out and stretch the legs. And no, I did not attempt to eat that 72-ounce steak meal, but that is something I will prepare for the next trip. In these pictures you also see Matt, the owner of Ohio Guide Outfitters, and his son Kai. They both have been out multiple times to hunt bear and have been successful. This was my first bear hunting trip. Just an amazing drive to see the Southwest and all God's beauty. So we finally made it to Josh Ranch. We began to unpack. No, we didn't wait long to get the guns ready for the hunt ahead. After a long trip, it's always good to shoot your guns to make sure your scope is still dialed in. The last thing you want to do is have a target in sight and not be able to get your kill because of a technicality. Always be prepared. So the first couple days were rainy and the dogs were having a hard time getting on a scent trail. This is Kai's bear from last year. Just want to add it in. His accuracy is way beyond his years. He's an excellent hunter.
Jen, Kai.
As you can see, they have had a forest fire in the last few years, but the vegetation is starting to grow back and getting more berries back for the bear to really have everything they need in these canyons. Spent some time up on the tops just glassing, and we were able to see a few sows and their cubs while we were sitting up there, and that was a first for me. Day 3, we followed the dogs on a hot trail up a cliff, only to find that they treed a cub, and most likely mom was close as it appeared. One of the dogs got in a scuffle with her, but after a few stitches, he was ready to get back hunting. There's some elk running up the cliffside. Kind of hard to see, but pretty amazing.
Dogs just treat a bear. Here we go.
Day 4, I was blessed to have the dogs hit on a trail early with just a short hike to find a treed bear. Mind you, I mainly hunt whitetail in Ohio, so this was definitely a different experience for me.
He's gonna come down now. He wouldn't.
My blood was pumping with adrenaline as I took my first shot. I hit it, but she wasn't going down easy. So as she was coming down, I had to put another one in her, and the third shot finally dropped her. My gun jammed. But it was a successful hunt. Great guiding by Hale and his team of dogs, and also his other guides. This is a hunt I will never forget. It'll make a beautiful rug in my living room. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Give us a call, 419-886-2107. Visit us at ohioguideoutfitters.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the brief slideshow. We're going to try to get more advanced as we go along, but we're going to rank this outfitter starting with experience. And the experience is broken down into a couple different categories. The first one being game sighting. To let everybody know, we've been to this outfitter many times. I've been out there 5 times. We've been to the Daddle, New Mexico ranch. However, this is the bear hunting Arizona side, which is only about 2.5 hours away from Daddle. So this is the Josh Ranch in Alpine, Arizona. It is the exact opposite of what, and everybody here would agree because this is Kyle, he's our IT guy, actually went out, and this is my son, and this is Gavin. When you think of Arizona, Kyle, you don't think of what we experienced. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. When Matt told me we were going out to Arizona to do a bear hunt, I'm thinking, there's bear in Arizona? In the middle of the desert? That's my feeling of going to Arizona. Never been there before, so I felt like we were going in the middle of the desert.
Right.
I was wrong.
See, you were wrong. So, Kai, first experience in Alpine, Arizona.
Well, that was my first bear hunt when I was 10. We were in the middle of the woods. We had dogs, and we were rigging with the dogs. And it was a great experience. I loved it. We were just driving on this old logging road. The dogs rigged, and then we just followed them. Bear was there. My heart was pumping. I was like, I've never seen I've seen a bear, but like not a bear that I'm hunting. So that was so much fun in my mind. I was just excited.
Okay, so experience overall, Gav, you were out there with us. This was 2 years ago, and you got your first bear as well. So there's lots of game out there. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
One of and again, we just did a slideshow this time, and Kyle is like a sniper with his trigger finger on his phone. Elk, mule deer, bear, coyotes,
Yeah.
lots of game. So when it comes to the experience of being out there, it is a wonderful, wonderful experience. Location and guides. Let's talk a little bit about location and guides. The location, again, the greatest contrast. I've hunted a lot in the state of Washington, and it literally reminds me, when you roll into Alpine, Arizona, when you see the mountains in the green and the rain every morning, it literally reminds you of hunting in the Pacific Northwest, which is exactly opposite of what people would think. So what do you think about location and the trees and the forest and the vegetation? What would you say that was like?
Driving into New Mexico, I thought we were in the middle of nowhere going through the desert, but when you actually get there, it's so rugged and mountainous. It's unbelievable. It's so beautiful.
Gav, what did you think?
It definitely wasn't what I expected. I expected like Grand Canyon, since the Grand Canyon state, but we drove through like mountains, trees. We saw like elk everywhere. It was awesome.
Right, so I'm going to talk to you about the Josh Ranch. They pretty much describe the topography of what's going on. Josh Ranch is amazing. Cabins that are beautiful. Highly, highly recommend going there. The lodge, Kyle, talk to us about the lodge. You got a lot of pictures of the lodge in there.
I did. The lodge is beautiful, which they are adding on as we were there this year. So I'm excited to go back and see what else they had in store for our future hunts. But yeah, it's beautiful layout, quiet. There was one day I was walking from cabin to the mess hall and saw a bear out in the field. I know that the year before, how many elk were out in the field?
Yeah, so there was probably almost 150 elk, just this herd that just migrated right through the back pasture, literally where we set our rifles in when we first get there.
And just to be able to be in a location like that is just, you don't even have to go hunting,
Surreal.
which we love to go hunting, but it was just, that's my vacation. That's what I love to do. I love being in that area. I don't want to go to the beach. I don't want to go to the inner city. I want to go out where it's peaceful and you're seeing just God's creation.
Absolutely. All right, next we have accommodations. We're going to talk about sleep, easy to get to, and food. So the next category that we try to rank outfitters on is the accommodation factor. Super easy to get to. There are times if you're going out, when you leave Albuquerque, it's, you're still a couple hours out. There are some times that you go through wilderness, and if you're driving there for the first time, it may be a little, you might even feel, if you're afraid of being alone, it's certainly a desolate area to drive through, but it's amazing scenery. You're going through, we even stopped, we did a Facebook Live for our Ohio Guide Outfitter channel. Up there in the mountains, you see caves. So it's just two-lane roads. It's amazing. So it's easy to get to, however, you're driving through wilderness. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Food. Kai, talk about food.
The food there is great. The cook is great. Personally, my favorite meal was the grilled sirloin, green beans, and loaded baked potato. That's my favorite. I also like their fajitas. They just put the tortilla right on the fire. It's perfect.
Van Hale is the owner and operator of Van Hale Trophy Outfitters. Van being his first name, Hale being the last. If you look down below or wherever Kyle puts it in at, you'll actually have the link to get as many of our OGO clients out there. And of course, we want any Van Hale clients that does any turkey or whitetail deer hunting back east. Love to be able to outfit you here. But Kylie is his daughter-in-law. Ethan, our guide this past season, or Kai's guide specifically, and I went out with him a few times as well. Kylie is his wife. perfect job on everything. Very, very good food. Again, we really appreciate when we go out. It doesn't matter where we're at, and everybody can attest to this. If you're a foodie, which I kind of am, is going to a place that has good food to eat. It's not just thrown together, make it own yourself. It's like they put time and thought into it. So let's talk about sleep. Again, we did speak briefly about cabins. There's a lot of cabins because they do allow visitors to be there during off season as well for like weddings and different corporate retreats. But
I think
so
there's
sleeping,
5 sections, like 5 accommodation sections.
right, and some of them are pretty decent size where there's like 7 beds or 5 bedrooms or whatever that is. But I mean, everything's always been really great every time we've been there. There's a lot of places, laundry for your laundry. There's area to store your gear and your firearms, and there's a little kitchenette in there as well, so you can make coffee in the morning.
I think not only that, but if you're going out on a hunting trip and your family wants to go, it's a great spot for that. Your family can stay back while you're hunting, and really have room to feel like they're on vacation as well. It's
Right.
not just accommodations for the hunters, but you can bring your family as well.
Right, and this is actually the first time that my wife and my daughter did not come with us on this trip, but the other 4 times, both elk hunts as well as bear hunting, they've been there all the time. So yeah, we definitely recommend taking families as well, because it gets, number one, it gets people interested, especially younger generations, into actually hunting, and it exposes them to the great Western hunt. All right, next group or category is harvest. So let's talk about the harvest this year. So this is actually the first year that Kai and I went that we did not harvest anything. I know the berries were down, so that posed a little bit of difficulty. And some other factors that just kind of played in. I did have a shot opportunity. It was pretty far. I just missed the shot, to be honest with you, but it was a pretty far shot. No excuses on my end. I got to get better. It was right at 800 yards, so we do bring a long-range rifle, and unfortunately, I pulled just a little bit to the right. I don't know if you have that on the video. I kind of forget about this because we do these in a little bit of the rears, but nonetheless, it was a great time getting to that shot opportunity. I did, however, harvest 2 beautiful bear out there. Kai, tell them your experience in previous years.
Previous years was great. The guides were great. They knew exactly what they were doing, like without even thinking about it. And it's so fun just watching the bear and watching the dogs and then just pulling the trigger. It's amazing.
So the next thing that we're going to speak about is really quick. All right. So the next category that we rank outfitters on is value. What we try to do here, because I've had the opportunity to hunt all over the United States and Canada, is we want to give you a true, honest value on a bear hunt in Arizona. So the value there is very, very, very good. Once you get to that $4,000 or $5,000 range, what we've experienced with everywhere that we've been and all the research that we put into that, you are now at a high echelon of bear hunts. You could go to Canada for 2 to 3, maybe $4,000 would be a high-end bear hunt in this eastern part of Canada or Maine. However, with what you get when you go out west, I personally like hunting out west a lot. I've been to Maine. I've killed bear in Maine. I like hunting western United States a little bit more, probably. I like the scenery. I like the culture. My wife is from out west. So I rank that high in value because of what you get to experience there and the food and the friendship that we've developed with Ethan, with Brad, which is another one of the guides, which is Van Hale's other son. And of course with Van and LaDawn, even though you're never really at camp, but we do speak to you probably more than everybody throughout the year, just as we call the office.
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars on my end. Highly recommend going to Van Hale Trophy Outfitters. Kai?
5 easily.
5 easily. Gav?
5.
5.
Ooh, better than the food, huh?
Better than the food. All right, good stuff.
We're getting out there. I'm gonna go with a 5. This is the only bear hunt I've ever been on. I had a great time. I have no complaints. It was a great trip all around. I mean, I give 5 stars on all of it. Yeah, I had a blast, as you saw.
So thank you for watching our review on Van Hale Trophy. Like and subscribe, and it's going to get better. Hopefully you watch all the way to the end.